What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury. Tyson Fury does reveal his sparring partners, and he purposely left out Anthony Joshua, and he explains why. He says Anthony Joshua, he wants to give Anthony Joshua the work on down the road. Not necessarily in sparring, and he's lucky that he didn't pick him for sparring, because if he would have went into sparring with Tyson Fury said that he may not been able to continue his career due to the work that Tyson Fury would have gave him. Okay. All right. Well, the sparring partners are George Fox. He's a British fighter. He's 3-0, no knockouts. David Adelea, 1-0 with one knockout. And American Gerald Anderson, 2-0 with two knockouts. But no Anthony Joshua, and back to that, I think Fury decided not to shit where you eat. Not to bring your friends close and your enemies closer kind of situation, because he knew and he figured, well, if I fight him or I spar him, he will maybe be too acquainted with me, and I'll probably be a disadvantage to myself. Okay, that's what I'm assuming Tyson Fury did, and why he decided not to. Not because, he wouldn't have been able to continue, yada, yada, yada. And you know why I don't believe that? Is because Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua already previously sparred. Sure, it was a different time, but these are the same people. And regardless of time, I noticed that a lot of people, they keep the same habits. Okay? That's why Sugar Shane Mosley could always beat De La Hoya. That's why Vernon Forrest could always beat Sugar Shane Mosley. Those are why fights to that magnitude will always be due to styles, okay? And according to Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua already gave him the business. So for him thinking that, he's lucky I didn't pick him because he wouldn't have been able to continue his career, I don't buy that. I think that's just trash talk. I think the true reason is because he didn't want that type of familiarity. He didn't want to be that familiar with Joshua and vice versa, especially given that these guys may fight later on this year or early next year. Okay, so I don't think Tyson wanted that type of connection with Joshua this soon. I think that Joshua is a good fighter, and he's a very good puncher. And I think that Tyson Fury may wanted to not get too familiar, but not too familiar because who's to say that he can hurt Joshua? You might say, well, he buckled Deontay, so he may buckle Joshua. That may be true. I'm not saying he can't, but I'm saying there's an underlying reason why he won't. He picked two guys, three fresh guys from all over the world to be his sparring partners, and they've only got 6 fights in between all of them. So I think he really wanted someone that's tall, rangy, that can emulate Deontay Wilder. But Joshua, I think, would have been a little bit too familiar with the whole ordeal. And then plus, if Joshua gets acquainted with him and finds out, okay, I can deal with that herky-jerky style, it's almost like looking at a test, and seeing the answers or the questions, right? And then getting the answers for them later on. So then when you actually take that test, you're really familiar with that test because you've already seen that test, if that makes sense to people. And I've mentioned that I've noticed Anthony Joshua, compare it to an exam. So I think a guy like that, I think he's people underestimate Joshua's psyche when he does examine opponents. Because when he was talking about Usyk, he was talking about very particular things that Usyk does that tells me that he does pay attention to his opponent. So if you think that he has plans to fight Tyson Fury, given Tyson Fury beating Deontay Wilder, you think he won't be using that as an advantage? Of course he would. And if Tyson Fury would be a fool if he wouldn't do the same. But the question you ask yourself in this situation, who would end up hurting who if who connected with who first? Okay, if you were a betting man, if Tyson Fury landed a good left hook on Joshua, do you think that would buckle him or hurt him more than if Anthony Joshua landed a left hook on Tyson Fury? Think about it. Who you think, which left hook would be the most effective? That's the question you ask yourself. And if these guys got in there and sparred, no, it'll just be too close for comfort. You know, they would know too much about each other. And I think Tyson Fury, and there's a video I have to do about Frank Warren, and he had a lot to say about it, and I'll post it later. But I think a lot of his handlers was like, no, that's a bad idea. Stay the hell away from Joshua. Keep Joshua out of your camp. You may have to fight this dude in the near future. Why not? If that is the counsel, that they gave him, I say it is a good idea. I say that was, good advice from his team. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Tyson Fury and his new sparring partners and this whole video. Leave your comments below. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.